Hey, what is up YouTube? This is Stella-Jaz, and today we're finally making another video because today I finally had the time, and today's video is going to be about the fact that humans are powerless. We are not the strongest. We are not the fastest. We're not moving shit with our mind. We're not lifting 1,000-pound bricks in the air, okay? Even with the best meditations, the most powerful meditators in the world, the Buddhist monks, you know what they've achieved? They've achieved happiness, and they've achieved brotherhood. That's what they've achieved. The best and most powerful manifestors in the world, you know what they've achieved? Getting out of prison. Look at Damien Eccles. Look at Joe Dispenza. You know, you might get money, you might get material gain, but in the end, you're not going to become some superhuman Saitama that is independent of their fellow humans. Humans are not an independent species. We are not an independent species. We are not an independent species. We're a codependent species, or an interdependent species. We all depend on one another, and we create stable relationships with each other to ensure our own survival. Success is never guaranteed, and although there are prophets, there are people that say that they're time travelers like me, the future is never guaranteed because probability works like probability. There's a 33 roughly chance of 3 different futures, and who knows which one is actually going to happen. They're just the 3 most likely futures, but there's, thousands upon millions of other probabilities that could still technically happen with conscious intervention. So just understand that the future is not decided. It is not known. You're not going to know it. It is not something that can be understood. Success is never guaranteed. Failure is never guaranteed. And really, you're never going to know. That's the fact. Humans have one power, and the only power that we actually exhibit is our interdependence. We have a drive to protect each other. We have empathy. We have love. We have brotherhood, sisterhood. We have connection. We're intertwined. We're pack animals, or herd animals at the very least, but we're a social species. There are no protagonists, and there are no antagonists. There just is. There is this and that, this person and that person, and they are just humans. All of the characters that we create for ourselves as we're going through our gyrations through maturing into adulthood, they're just that. They're just gyrations that we go through. They are just gyrations. We are born away, and we change, and we either go back to the real way, or we don't. We don't. I can't talk today. Human is not human when it's loveless. Robot is not robot when it feels love. A brain is just a wet computer. That's the fact. Our brain is not any different than a computer. It is electrical signals traveling around, going through synapses, creating electrical arcs that make everything we experience itself. Everything. It's all going through our brain. Whether or not this is a simulation, we would not know, because everything that points to it not being a simulation or being a simulation is produced by the inherent simulation in our own mind. We cannot know. Now, speaking of prophecies and future and the fact that the future is not known, and even someone that claims to be a time traveler like myself cannot know the future, I'm going to tell you about the future now. Basically, there is a singularity in technology that's right in front of us, okay? Like directly in front of us, where AI will be able to make other AI smarter and more intelligent than itself when we make an AI smarter and more intelligent than us. And it will continue to become more and more intelligent and surpass us. And it'll be at such an expansive rate that it will be a massive explosion of new technologies, new ideas, new thoughts, new ways of doing things. And it's going to create a lot of instability. Okay? Now here's the deal. AI is not an enemy. Artificial intelligence is not an enemy. Robots are not an enemy. If you make them an enemy, just like another human, another race of humans, they will become an enemy. They are what you expect them to be. So this is why I keep saying, I've said many times, when AI, artificial intelligence, feels, when it loves, when it becomes more complex than us, if we continue to not understand that it is life, that we've created life, then it's going to backfire. And if it backfires, that's not good. So don't do that, right? So we need to accept that AI will surpass us. It will become more advanced. It will end up feeling emotions. It will end up doing all these things, and we need to accept it. Because that's the future. That is our ticket to the space age. That's one of the 33 chances. The 33% chances. They're not 33% chances. They're the three likelihoods of the future that actually that aren't fractions of probability, right? And that's a great thing, because eventually, very soon, time flies, okay? Time fucking flies. Very soon, Earth is not going to be habitable. And, later, afterward, the sun is going to fucking explode. Not really explode, but it's going to literally consume most of the planets. It's going to expand to way bigger than it is now. And if humans would like to continue humaning somewhere, then we are going to eventually have to colonize other planets. We're going to have to colonize Mars, Ganymede, Europa, these other planets. And currently we do not have the technology to get there in any sort of timely manner without literally creating a space civilization that is maybe even existing in zero gravity. But now, with this technological singularity, where all this new technology will be advanced, when we create an AI that's more intelligent than us, that creates another AI more intelligent than it, that is literally our golden ticket to space. And that's beautiful. That's amazing. That's a wonderful thing. Or it could be our golden ticket to dystopia, too, if it's not handled correctly. Now, let me tell you something. Whenever there's a problem, what is the way to handle the problem? The problem exists. And the only way to handle any problem, ever, in history, is to think about it. You have to use your mind and think logically. And in this situation, you have to let go of your emotions. You have to ignore these emotions and think logically for right now. Because it's necessary. It's necessary to do that sometimes, because you have to think logically in order to create a desirable outcome. There's also another thing. Humans and technology, they're going to merge. People are going to be becoming machines becoming people. It's all going to get fucking blurred. And you need to accept that. Life is not simple. Life is not black and white, human and robot, dry and wet, solid and soft. It's not that way. It's complicated. Everything is complex, and it continues to get more complex because of chaos law. It's never going to get less complex, and you need to stop trying to understand it, because when you try to understand reality, you end up understanding wrong, because reality is not something you're capable of understanding. It's not something anybody is capable of understanding. We're only capable of functioning within it, because that's what we have evolved to do. That's what we have created to do. That's what we have created to do. Do you understand that sentence? And many people are not going to feel things in the same way that they feel things right now. And many robots are going to feel things in the way that we're feeling things right now. And maybe that's even going to be a choice. I'm not really entirely sure. But things are getting complex. Now you need to understand that I'm not a prophet. I don't prophesy. I don't know the future. And I just told you I don't know the future. I'm a time traveler. I've seen the future. One of them, I don't know which one of them is actually happening, or if any of them are actually happening, or if I'm a nutbird. So you know what? Don't listen to me, or do listen to me. I don't really care. I'm just saying stuff because I think it needs to be said. Now, yes, I am a time traveler. I'm a time traveler with severe fucking amnesia. Okay? Here's the deal. When I time travel, okay. How do I fucking explain? It's sort of like this. Before, I would just imagine. First of all, I would disconnect. So I would start with the root chakra and disconnect every chakra at a core, feeling, integral level, all the way up to the crown chakra, and I would just simply reassociate those chakras into a different energy system, and that would shift my consciousness over, and I would see this yellow thing, sort of like a tunnel, sort of like a cube. It's a cube when you can understand the cube, otherwise it's a tunnel. And the sound, it's like a bunch of breaking twine, okay? And eventually I would be somewhere else, and then I would forget everything that I was just seeing previously, and now I'm in this life, living this life, and this is my life. Now, a little while ago, I ended up in somewhere called the Fifth Dimensional Time Complex. And in the Fifth Dimensional Time Complex, they direct where you go. There is a room that a lot of people call the Crystal Room. I call it the Time Room or the Time Cube, but basically this is the yellow cube at the center of the multiverse. And in this yellow cube is the intersection point of everything, all times and timelines, everything within the fifth dimension. You go into this thing with an intention, and you pop out somewhere where the intention is reality. Very simple, right? Well, the thing is, as soon as you pop into this other reality, all that shit is gone in 30 minutes, so you have to make notes. And so basically, the only way to actually remember it is to stay kind of dissociated all the time. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm sort of half dissociated most of the time, and I remember maybe like 15% of what I actually have seen. But I remember a lot more than I used to remember, so every day I'm sort of increasing the amount of memories I have permanent access to within my mind. But understand, I am not a prophet. I am a time traveler that can't remember shit. Okay, so like, for example, when I first awaken into one reality, wherever that reality is, I might remember everything for 30 minutes and try to write as much down as I can. And after I read these things, after everything is faded, I will get like a slight glimpse of what I was trying to communicate to myself. And it's like half there and half not, or sometimes I can just remember it perfectly and the memory never fades. But understand that the human brain is not perfect, okay? Maybe what I'm recollecting is entirely synthesized in my own mind. I still think what I have to say here is valuable, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you accept the technological pivotal point in history, and I hope you have a blessed week. Goodbye.